propaganda makes the other side look bad. So bad that it's a stigma, it's a stench to even have a curiosity about going over and seeing what those people think or are reading. Like, it creates this idea that they're not even people you want to talk to because they're just so dumb and evil. And that's what all the reviews on The Sound of Freedom are doing. They're creating this, they're calling this movie, which is an apolitical movie about human trafficking, they're putting it in this context of it's QAnon adjacent, it's a right-wing paranoid thriller. And they're using terms that make it seem like you would be absolutely crazy, out of your mind to go see this movie. And another thing is they kind of act like it's like poorly done. And it's very interesting because as soon as I saw this amount of don't see this, this is dumb, this is evil, this has a stench, this has a stench, I thought, well, I definitely have to see it, because when the legacy media is that mad and going that hard, then it's definitely something that you want to see. So, but I had that stench on how they had portrayed it was on me, because I was full of, when I had to say what movie I was going to see to the ticket people, I didn't want to say it, I just showed my phone. Like, I didn't want to say it out loud. And even when I got there, I immediately thought, oh, I wonder if it's going to be like old boomers with American flag stuff. Like, I already had all these little associations and judgments and stench. And I'm even somebody who isn't actively always like putting the right down. But yet I had all these instant knee-jerk default judgments, misconceptions, caricature things that flashed through my mind. And I thought, see, that's the stench, that's the power of the propaganda. See, I'm even having it come up for me, and I'm here seeing the movie. And so I watched the movie, and you know, the reviews, again, they characterized it as this kind of moralizing, over-the-top kind of writing, and it wasn't at all like that. In fact, it was extremely straightforward, not having big, flowery moralizing. It was mostly just, it followed these two siblings that they went to an acting audition and never came back, and then it follows this agent and his journey of, you know, taking down these human trafficking rings and saving children. But he's not made into just a complete saint. Like, they have how he has a willingness to you know, pretend to be a pedophile to kind of get things out of people, and he along with the guy he was working with, who was actually a person that was in prison for drug trafficking, that actually had, you know, a conscience and guilt and redemption, reform as his goal. So two of them worked together to, you know, track these traffickers down and save kids, and it was completely apolitical. If anything, the only critique I have of what I would want from it is I would love to have more of the masks of people in this will have such a double life. Like, I really love that Gus Fring with the fast food chain, but then he's building the meth. I love that Vince Gilligan flavor of it, of showing the contrast of how people portray themselves versus that double life, whether they're the people who are running the enterprise and the business, or the people that are paying for the services of it. Services. Oh. But anyway, that The Sound of Freedom, you know, you can really see the propaganda at play, where they just don't even want you to see it, because the reason why is it will just plant a seed of curiosity where you'll think, wow, well, this was a movie about, you know, how South America is connected to it. I wonder how it's how it plays out with regimes in the U.S. I wonder how it plays out with our Hollywood political modeling, because there's so many places that have a front, say for instance for acting or modeling, but then they're actually kidnapping the kids, or they're kidnapping 20-somethings, but still, and then there's the CIA and the MK Ultra. We've got people that are under mind control, that are disassociated, that are drug trafficking, sex trafficking, and running a whole gamut of things. And so they don't want you to start asking questions, because you would inevitably go into so many rabbit holes that are well documented. Project MK Ultra is out there. I mean, for you to read about what it is. There's all kinds of people who escaped it that have done testimony, that have written books. There's a whole world out there of, once you know one little level of the corruption, you know tons underneath. And it's the same with the Free Britney campaign. The reason people are terrified of that is that you find out a little bit more about her, you're going to find out about a lot of different trafficking. And these are how a lot of people are billionaires, so of course they're going to want to keep this on the down low. And so anyway, it's very interesting. Yeah, it's very clear that the media's paid off, because all their reviews have to make a point to put down this movie, because they want to have they need that stench so that you won't even sniff or go near it. Because if they want you to walk right on by. Because if you even stop and smell a little bit of the stench and think, you know what, I wonder if the smell that I'm told is complete, just evil and dumb, isn't actually a huge smell of something else. Like they're telling you that it's a big stench. And it is a stench. But it's the stench that there are a lot of high-profile, powerful people mixed in with this and enabling it. And so, or there's people that they may not be a main player in it, but they are blackmailed and they don't want to. They know who's in it, and they don't want to. They're not allowed. They can't reveal because they're being blackmailed to not reveal. So, anyway, go see this movie, Sound of Freedom, just because it's interesting to see why those reviewers have a need to characterize it a particular way that's not what it is. It has nothing to do with Q-Anon. It's a apolitical story, and it's based on an agent who works for the Underground Railroad for human trafficking. Because we are currently living in a place, we have slavery, we have sex slavery, and so he's freeing slaves. That's why his organization is called that. That wasn't even mentioned in the movie, but if you look up Tim Ballard, that's what you'll see. So, anyway,